You're listening to the Prepper Recon podcast. For questions, comments, and podcast archives, go to prepperrecon.com. I've personally been buying gold and silver from JM Bullion for over 2 years. They offer the best prices over spot that I can find, and I've never had a problem with an order. If you're looking to trade in some of your fiat paper for real money, check out jmbullion.com today. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back. Katie Armor offers affordable body armor, including Level 3 trauma plates made of AR-500 steel. They can endure multiple rounds from pistols and rifles up to 7.62 NATO. Order today from katiearmor.com. That's C-A-T-I armor.com. Today's guest is Eve Gonzalez of Trading Post in the Woods. Eve, welcome back to the show.
Thanks, Mark. It's great to be back.
Absolutely. Good to have you. How was your Christmas?
Wonderful. You know, it's that time of the year that we have the family and we close our doors and our windows and shut off our phones and just relax. We're also busy all year long, so we take that as just family time. And so it's always usually just quiet and peaceful, and we just enjoy it.
Yeah, it's so important to get that
I hear yours was a little bumpy, but you know.
Yeah, but I'm back in the saddle now, and 2017 is going to be the best year ever here. So, do you have any goals for the new year, personally, or for Trading Post in the Woods?
You know what? We will continue to really drive out information to people. Our thing is that I know we briefly talked about the election and praise God for the way it turned out, but a lot of people kind of have sat back thinking they don't have to worry about anything, and yet they do not realize they continue now to lose so many rights. And our goal is going to be to continue getting the information out to people. And for those who will hear and those that want to learn and those that want to prepare, we're going to work with them. Things are changing kind of in the, how you can get that information out to people. But we're looking at holding more trainings ourselves, having seminars and hands-on training instead of all of the conventions that we were doing. So we're trying to more target focus for people. I have hopefully 2 books that'll come out in 2017.
Oh, fantastic.
But our big thing, That's
a big goal.
The one that you're waiting for that I still haven't named. It's almost complete. So hopefully the beginning of 2017, that book will be out, and then my next one will be out towards the end of 2017. That's the goal. But we're right now, one of the reasons I really wanted to talk was just what's going on in the alternative medical realm. In fact, you can't even really call it medical anymore. But in alternative and all the rights that Americans are losing to know the truth. And it's really important because if a disaster happens, or, all of a sudden you have a change of employment and you can't afford medical, there's the alternative. And but your rights are being taken away to even be able to buy the stuff, much less learn the truth about it. And so that was one of the important things I really wanted to share with y'all, because in a disaster world, you have to be able to take care of yourself. You have to figure out how to be your own doctor and know how, when, and why you would use the alternatives that you need to have. Whether you're growing it, whether you're making it, whatever it is, you better know what it is and the benefits to it. And the good news is you can learn, and it's not that hard. It just takes investing a little bit of time and a desire to learn and a desire to acquire what you need to know. Some of it's knowledge and some of it's supplies, just like with any disaster preparedness. But so that's kind of, those are our goals. We are really looking at how do we, a lot of people can't attend conventions, and, a lot of people won't be able to come to our area to do a seminar. But, I always travel around the country. I tell people, if you want me to come, get a group of people, help pay for my travel there and lodge me somewhere, and I'll come and do it so that y'all can learn, because the healthier we all are, the more prepared we all are, the better everybody's going to be. So, so that's our goals, for 2017.
And so does that mean you don't think that we're out of the woods for the next 4 to 8 years? You don't think that we're going to get a break from the hurricanes and wildfires and all of that just because we voted for Trump?
Okay. So I wrote an article, and seriously, we have seen that shift. We have seen people who are so elated that Trump is our president-elect, that they really believe they don't have to worry about anything anymore, that he's going to make everything okay. And in my article, I said, I have never known a president be able to sit in his Oval Office and determine what natural disasters will happen and which ones won't. Okay, I mean, let's have Florida be hit by a hurricane, but you know what? We're going to give Texas a break this year. I mean, that does not happen. And so I don't understand. I don't understand why people would let their guard down now. I think we have hard times ahead of us, and natural disasters are still going to happen. Terrorist attacks still can happen. Look what happened, over the holiday in the mall. All those malls where all of a sudden all those people lost their mind, and you had all the riots and the fighting going on, and I mean, it's just, you don't know where something crazy is going to break out, and they may have more control of trying to stop a terrorist attack from the outside world, but things get through. 9/11 happened, okay, and other things happen. Food's contaminated left and right. I mean, you hear about all this listeria. We have all this food coming in from other countries, and food that's, people start eating, and then people start getting sick. Some people are dying from it. So all that's going to continue to go on, and why people would let their guard down is beyond me. And so I, like you and a lot of other people, are trying to get the word out and go, now it's not the time. It is not the time. Until God takes you home, it is not the time to let your guard down. And, it's not the time to sit back and go, I don't have to worry about it anymore. We have that responsibility, and we need to make sure we're doing everything we need to do. Thank goodness Noah didn't take vacation, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so, but...
Let's talk about this war on truth. The foreign propaganda bill was slipped into the back of the 2012 NDAA and signed into law by Obama while everybody else was wrapping presents the night before Christmas Eve. Are you worried that could be used against patriots who want to speak their mind?
Of course. You and I, we both have targets on our head. That's the thing. You see a misjustice going on. You and I kind of sit in different positions, so we learn things because we're searching for it. Okay? Unfortunately, a lot of people aren't searching to know the truth. And so all this stuff gets slid in through different bills. It sounds great on the outside. The title of the bill sounds great. Oh, yeah. And then you find out all the horrible stuff that's within that bill, and more rights that people are losing, or how, just because you believe in Jesus Christ, you could be deemed, a terrorist. And so I think we always have to, like I said, be on guard and realize that those of us who are out there trying to speak the truth, trying to get the truth out to people, trying to help wake people up, to guide people in a certain direction, certain people take notice of that, and can that create a problem for us in the future? Yeah, I believe so.
Ready Made Resources is a trusted name in the prepper community because they've been around for 18 years. They offer great prices on night vision, water filtration, long-term storage food, solar energy components, and provide free technical service. Get ready for an uncertain future at ReadyMadeResources.com.
Get prepared before disaster strikes. PrepperRecon.com offers MOLLE-compatible individual first aid kits for your home, auto, or bug-out bag. These kits have everything you need to address a traumatic injury, including an Israeli battle dressing, quick clot, EMT shears, suture kit, steri-strips, tourniquet, tough strip bandages, and so much more. Kits are available in OD Green, Coyote, Black, and ACU. $99 includes shipping. Go to PrepperRecon.com and click the Store tab at the top of the home page. Order today before it's too late.
And then we found out that Google has funded the lobbyist that's been pushing for these types of legislation. And at Google, they're sort of a big kid on the block. So know, that concerns me, that a corporation with that much power is so heavily invested in swaying U.S. law. And I think that might be scarier than the Russians running the show. What do you think?
Well, you know what? I liked our president-elect came out with a tweet, and his thing was, you know, if you were so concerned about Russia hacking emails, why did you wait until after Hillary lost before you said anything about it? Okay. You know, I am concerned. I have to look. I see what the all of the pharmaceutical, all of the different lobbyists that are out there that are trying to lobby for what is in their best interest, not the American people's best interest, in their best interest. And it all comes down once again to money, 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 money. And the thing is that we lose a lot of our rights because Americans don't take the time to get involved. They don't take the time to research out what's going on and fight the bills. We all have a voice, and you can, for the longest time, I mean, my senators and congressmen knew me by my first name, and they'd be going, yeah, Eve, okay, we know why you're calling, okay? But I hounded them because things that they were trying to pass, I'm like, you had better not vote yes on that, okay? And so we worked really diligently to fight that. But less and less people want to get involved because more people are afraid, I think. I think they're afraid to become a target, to have their name put on some list that somebody might come after them for something. And I look at it this way, and I go, one day I'm going to stand before our Heavenly Father, and I will have to give an accounting. And I want to hear, well done, my good and faithful servant. Not, why did you keep your mouth shut? Why didn't you do this or that? Why did you choose not to fight? And so wherever it may come from, I think we have a lot of things to worry about in our own country that aren't even coming from the outside world, okay, other foreign countries. Yes, we have problems with the foreign countries, and the whole United Nations thing, that could be a whole nother podcast. I'm so upset with what happened at the United Nations, okay? But, I think people their focus is being pulled off by different things going on that they're missing what's being ripped away out of our foundation. And so there's all these distractions going on, and people aren't paying attention to what they really need to be paying attention to. And that's all the stuff that's getting passed. And it's being done in lightning speed, and you just don't even know about it.
Yeah, and we've got the legislation, and then, like we said, we've got the corporate bullies in the yard.
Oh, the corporate! You know what? It's awful. But then, again, you look at it is unnerving to think about Google and and the pharmaceutical and the American Medical Association. You look at any of the big corporations, and there are a few that I know that fight the government because they're trying to do what's right for this country, and then there are others that will go, you know what, we're not going to create a stink, we're going to go with the flow, and they go, okay, how do we make money here? And so we work not to support those that aren't trying to truly support Americans. And it's getting harder and harder because more of them are jumping on the bandwagon and doing what's just best for them and not what's best for the American people. So, but again, that's, we have to take some responsibility for that and look and go, how could we have gotten involved? What can we do? How do we fight that? And it's not about going out into the streets and burning and destroying and everything. It's looking at going, okay, what is the law here? What have they done? Is there any way that we can get this reversed? God has blessed us with an opportunity. We have 4 upcoming years, and just pray God's protection over the new administration coming in. But, if we as Americans start looking at some of these policies and what the Federal Trade Commission is doing and what the Food and Drug Administration is doing and what, big corporations are doing, and we start getting involved to bring the injustices out to the light, and people get involved to go, absolutely not, this is not happening. What has to be done to get this reversed? I think we can get things reversed. Not everything, because there's so much, but I think there are certain things that we can. But we have to step up as a group of American citizens going, you know what, this is an injustice and we want it fixed. We let them get away with it all. So
yeah, you're right. And the war on truth. We're seeing it with fake news. We're seeing it in our schools where teachers aren't allowed to refer to children as boys and girls.
That is craziness.
And then you're getting it, and then your industry is now really, really getting hammered. The homeopathic industry is, which has been around for
over
centuries.
Years.
For centuries.
Yeah.
And talk to us a little bit about what's going on there, because I don't think, I think most folks, that's not getting the news coverage that of course, depending on what news you're watching, none of the other stuff is either. But this is one that's, I think, that folks are really, really unaware of. So why don't you fill us in and just kind of give us the scoop on what's happening with the homeopathic industry right now?
Okay. So like I said before, when I talked with you, I do have a statement. In the past, I've had a cease and desist. I had a gag order. I've had different things. And so counsel gave me a statement that I'm just going to read to you, okay, word for word from what it is here. So it says, I have to tell you that by law I cannot treat, diagnose, or prescribe, as I am not a medical doctor. I have simply used and studied alternative options for 30-plus years. I must also let you know that I must carefully measure every word, and I am not allowed to suggest or recommend, because in many states it is considered the practice of medicine. I cannot use some medical terminology that may be considered a diagnosis when talking about an alternative. An example would be, I can no longer say that something is formulated for a migraine, because migraine may be considered a diagnosis and I can't diagnose. I cannot say in public that we have used this or that product for a headache, but instead I have to say, if you suffer from head tension, you could try using this or that. I cannot use the word asthma, but I can say if you're having difficulties breathing. What was acceptable for hundreds of years is now being deemed in the exclusive domain of medicine. The claim is that it is for your protection, but in reality, they are removing your ability to learn the truth. Okay. End of statement. Okay.
That statement alone just shows us where we're at, and that's something that you now have to read to cover yourself legally, and that shows you where we're going. So you can't say headache, you can't say boy, you can't say girl, you can't say that that the Clinton Foundation stole 90% of the proceeds that were supposed to go to her Haiti after the earthquake. You can't say anything. Basically, what we're being told is take your pills,
sit in the corner and shut up and just sit there until drool starts running down your lip and you turn into a bowl of mashed potatoes.
Well, see, and that's basically where we're heading. If people will not stand up and start to fight. When I was talking with our manufacturer, now a little bit of background on homeopathy. There are people out there who will say, oh, it's quackery, it's nothing but a placebo. We put on our website a 7-minute video on the history of homeopathy in the United States of America. Okay. The first national medical association actually was the American Institute of Homeopathy. It was formed 4 years before the American Medical Association came about. And the American Medical Association, their whole purpose was to counter the progression of homeopathy in the United States. And so they started a slaughter campaign against it. But we had a senator from New York, so some senators from New York do good things, okay? In 1940, his name is Senator Copeland, and he was one of the writers of the Food, Drug, and Cosmetic Act. And that was established in 1938. And in 1940, he saw what the American Medical Association was doing to homeopathy. Well, he happened to be, not only was he a politician, but he was a homeopathic medical doctor. And so he got it passed that homeopathy would be protected and entered in to the Food, Drug, and Cosmetic Act, which made it, it entered it into the United States Pharmacopoeia, which made homeopathy a drug, okay? So now we have homeopathy as a drug, and most people have no clue in America here that homeopathy is a drug. But it's natural. So there are no additives, there's no chemicals, there's none of the stuff that the pharmaceuticals put into it. It's all natural. Well, the government over the years have pulled 440 off the market, and now you can only get it by prescription only. Well, most people don't know they have the option. If you have a heart issue and you need to have a heart medicine, you can get that by prescription. Okay, but you're not told that. And so what they're doing now is they're going after all homeopathy. They're trying to get Americans to believe it's not safe, it's not effective, you can't, it's no good, and yet they have it by prescription. Okay, so the World Health Organization came out several years ago saying that homeopathy was the second largest form of health care in the world, and it continues to grow. So I was just notified, Sweden added homeopathy as part of their healthcare system. When you look at England and overseas, okay, in Europe and in a lot of different countries around the world, that's what they use is homeopathy. They have homeopathic hospitals. They have homeopathic colleges, right? If there was no validity to homeopathy, why would so many people around the world use it? It would have died out long ago. But there's no money in it for anybody. Okay? I mean, it's not, when you make a homeopathic correctly, there's no expiration date to it. So even for us, if you buy a bottle, that bottle could last you until after you die and somebody else can take possession of it. You pass it on down, okay? Because there's no expiration to it. And yet it's effective. But the goal of homeopathy is to help the body heal so that, you don't have to be on something all of your life. It's to help give your body what it needs because your body is an amazing thing. And it does get better when it gets what it needs, okay? Instead of the mindset of, well, once you start taking this heart pill, you're going to have to take it the rest of your life. That was not God's intention for us. I mean, I've never seen that in the Bible. I don't know about you, but I haven't. And, God said he would give us everything we were going to need. We just became lazy as a people to find out what that is. So in America, another tidbit people don't know is we used to have over 100 homeopathic hospitals in the United States of America. We have 0 today. One of the prerequisites to be part of the AMA when they first formed was that you could not, any doctor from Harvard, Yale, where a lot of the doctors came from, they couldn't be part of the American Medical Association if they used or promoted homeopathy. It was one of the ways that they were able to drive it out of America. We had 22 colleges that taught it. Now we have 0. So somebody who really wants to learn it has to go overseas, so that they can learn what they can do naturally.
That's the end of the first half of my interview with Eve Gonzalez. Tune in next week for the rest of the show.
In A Haunt for Jackals by best-selling author Mark Goodwin, Danny Walker's survival retreat has been devastated by violence since the detonation of the EMP. Regent Slusher's designs on absolute power have already brought him to Danny's doorstep once, leaving a trail of blood and heartbreak in his wake. Another conflict with a malicious dictator will spell certain death for the remaining members of the compound. Danny's only hope is to infiltrate Schlusher's camp and bring him down from the inside. It's a risky proposition. If he is caught, he'll be executed as a spy, but there is no other alternative. In this epic struggle between good and evil, Danny's mettle will be tested, his faith will be tried, and he'll have to dig deep for the courage to continue. Buy your copy of A Haunt for Jackals, Book 3 of 7 Cows, Ugly and Gaunt, in paperback, Kindle, or audio edition from Amazon.com today.